People of Earth, we come in peace.
Welcome to this neighborhood, neighbor.
I am the Martian ambassador.
Des Moines and all of central Iowa, welcome to Max World Live. Max World is your world. Every day we talk about the issues and topics that matter most to you. And as always, it's your voice we want to hear in Max World. So join the conversation by calling 515-244-0077. And now, here's the host of Max World Live, J. Michael McCoy.
All right, good afternoon. 7 minutes after 3 on the 7th day of April in the Lord's year 2016. J. Michael McCoy back in the afternoon right here with Max World Live on 99.3 The Truth. If you are a first-time listener, thank you. What can you expect out of this show? First, the truth. First, the truth. And some of it will be the truth as I see it. Some of it will be the truth as I see it. And there, you have the opportunity to call up on our phone system, 515-244-0077, and you can disagree with me. And if you have ever listened to me for any amount of time, you know that I love people who disagree with me. I don't snap at them. I don't argue with them. I may debate with you. I love Lisa. She called the other day. What was it she called me off on?
Well, the first time Lisa called you out on the calling other folks low information voters.
That's right.
Calling Democrats low information voters.
And she was very intelligent about the way she approached that. And I like intelligent conversation. Plus, if two people always agree, what do I say? One of them isn't necessary. And so I'm not necessary. It isn't you that's not necessary. It's me that's not necessary because I need you to listen. You can spin that dial right now. You can probably find, depending on how good your radio is, you could probably pick up 40 radio stations. I'm one of 39. I need you. You're the most important person on the radio right now. You are the star of the radio show. Lisa was the star of the radio show. Anita's the star of the radio show. Paul's a part of the radio show. Jim's a part of the radio show. They are the stars of the radio show. That's why I am not a pontificator. Chris, you know what a pontificator is?
No.
Somebody who bloviates. It goes off on diatribes.
It's Rush Limbaugh. And I'm not saying that's bad. That's just not my deal.
Yeah.
I don't really think you want to hear what I have to say for 2 hours. You want to hear what everybody has to say. And that's why I have this zoo around me. I have Chris Roloff from the radio station. Say hello, Chris.
Hello, Chris.
No, when I point at you, what are you supposed to do?
Oh, yesterday I did cha-ching, yep.
Ching, ching.
Was that what it was? Cha-ching.
2 chings.
Cha-ching.
Yeah. But now, who are you?
I'm a monkey, apparently, in the zoo.
Frank the Verse Thomas is here. We're lucky to have him. When it rains, he's here. That means, what does that mean? You melt when the water... I'm melting!
Electricity and rain don't go well together.
Sure they do. It's just not fun for you.
Especially outdoors.
Bob Montserrat, the cat in the hat, watching the chat, been my partner for over 6 years. And he sits in front of this highly advanced piece of technological computer stuff. We have an office here at the radio station, which looks like ISU in the 60s. We have these huge, tall banks of computers. Computer after computer after computer after computer. And all of your thoughts funnel into that. If you text us on the Service Legends Truth text line at 515-809-0993, he reads them. If you go to our chat page at webcast1live.com, I know there's way too many addresses. I know it. The only web address you should ever really remember is macmccoy.com or 993thetruth.com. By going to either one of those addresses, 993thetruth.com, you'll get to Webcast 1, you'll get to Testify, you'll get to all of our previous shows, you'll get to everything you need, you'll get to our live shows, you'll be able to watch Now I really threw you off, didn't I? Because I said watch. Because you were waiting for me to say listen. You can watch and listen and chat. This is a 21st century high technology radio show.
And you can watch all the archives of past shows.
What would I do without him?
I know it.
He brings this massive amount of wisdom to the table and just drops it.
Bam. Just like that.
That just happened.
And our new producer, if you have been around the last couple of weeks, you've heard us talk about him. But otherwise, Ryan has joined the circus, and he is training elephants.
No,
And-
hang on. You just said Ryan has joined the circus. Jeb.
No. Ryan joined the circus. That's why we needed a new producer.
At the
and
zoo.
His name is Jeb.
Here at the zoo.
At the zoo, Point Blank Zoo. No, not Point Blank. Blank Park Zoo. He's training all the animals out there. Go to the monkey cage, hang around, you'll see him for sure.
By the way, have you heard from Ryan recently?
Yes, I did. I got a text from him the other day. It was kind of a personal question. He wanted to know if there was a market for, I guess I'll just say it, giraffe dung. Because he's in charge of clearing out the giraffe cage.
He's hoping to resell it.
And they're full of, they don't have any more room for giraffe dung. And so he was hoping maybe we could start like Ryan's giraffe dung
he
farm.
should have got a hold of Bob, because Bob knows how to deal with that stuff when he gets an overabundance at the horse farm.
That's right. You burn it.
What, burn it? Burn? You
Yeah.
can burn?
Sure, it makes great fuel.
Wait a minute, seriously, hold on. You can burn number 2?
Horse manure.
It's wet.
Well, it dries eventually.
till it dries
Well,
out.
and horse manure it dries relatively quick.
Because it's got hay.
It's got more hay in it.
Yeah, so it burns well.
And what, you use it for fuel?
No.
No, you don't put it in the fireplace at night with you and your bride with marshmallows and s'mores.
No, the neighborhood doesn't appreciate it.
Well, I have to ask you, I don't know this question. What does burning horse dung smell like? Does it smell like dung?
No.
Just burn
Kind of smells like hay.
hay? Oh, okay.
Burning hay.
Well, the survivalist shows on TV, if you're lost in the wilderness somewhere, dung is good to burn because it retains heat inside of it, and you can it will prolong in there for days, and you can start fires when your fires go out if you've got dung burning.
Really?
Frank, I'm sure he's done it.
I never even thought that you could. But when Ryan called me, he wanted to know if there was some place that he thought we could sell it. Now we could spend the summer making giraffe dung fireplace logs.
You could probably make pellets, things like that, and sure.
Burn them in the fireplace.
Right.
Oh, what about this? The gas or the charcoal grill. Charcoal's getting expensive, so when you're cooking your steaks.
I wouldn't go that far.
If looks could kill right now, Roloff's looking at me like, I can't believe you're talking about giraffe dung.
Fire to stay warm, but wouldn't go that far.
Speaking of really important news, did you guys know that the new Star Wars trailer came out for the next installment of the Star Wars movie?
Didn't we just get rid
I
of
was going to say, we just got one, didn't we?
Just had one.
But this is the first trailer. I mean, it's not like the movie's coming out this year.
It's coming out in December.
No, are you serious?
Rogue One. Right?
Is it coming out in 2016? I thought they were spacing them out further than
Look
that.
at you. You're just happier now.
I did not know that. I know what I'm doing for Christmas this year. Forget my plans.
You do know that anybody that wants to have their movie considered for the Academy Awards always dumps it in the month of December. That's the last chance.
Sure, but I didn't realize that they were putting them out there. So I have not seen the trailer yet. But I'm genuinely excited. I will watch it tonight because I don't want to watch it here because Mac will judge me if they're screaming and shouting and cheering. So I'm going to wait till I get home and then just have a complete fanboy
So don't
fit.
you think any Star Wars flick would be up for all kinds of special effects and writing and music scores and all of
sure.
that good stuff? So
Greatest movie ever made.
They're dumping it at just the right time.
That's right.
December.
Anyway,
December
Rogue
16th.
December 16th, Rogue
2016.
One, the new Star Wars film. Pretty excited about it. Man, I saw Force Awakens, and I was jazzed. That was a good movie.
Did you see the original in 1977?
I was born in 1977, so I did not see it in the theater. No.
Oh.
In fact, I'm of the generation
this is like talking about giraffe dung. Who really cares about Star Wars?
I'm gonna wager. That there are more people that care about the new Star Wars movie than care about giraffe dung. I'm just gonna throw that out there just as a possible maybe. I don't know. Maybe we should take a vote. Look, if you want us to keep talking about giraffe dung, you can send us a text.
I need to get to the news stories. There's important.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mac.
Well, he asked me if I had talked to Ryan lately, and I simply was answering that I had. He's got a job at the Blank Park Zoo collecting giraffe dung, and he's supposed to get rid of it, and they don't have enough dung pits.
Could we take it over to Hillary's house?
All right. Well, now we're almost out of time.
See what you did?
You wasted the whole time on Star Wars. See what you did?
I spent the whole time talking about Star Wars. You know what I'll never do is I'll never talk about my church. You know I go to Westkirk Presbyterian Church.
By the way, we talked about this yesterday, and I want to talk about it again. There is a Faith at Work event coming up at the Airport Holiday Inn, 11:30 to 1 on Thursday, May 12th. Thursday, May 12th. That's a Thursday. Therefore, Thursday, May 12th. At the Airport Holiday Inn, featuring Kelly Shackelford, president and CEO of First Liberty Institute. That is a huge not-for-profit law firm that goes in and will defend you if you've been accused of something in which you were really just protecting your religious rights. Right. So it's First Amendment rights. And the session that's going to go on Thursday, May 12th, is called Faith at Work, Is It Legal? Now, that's a trick question because the answer is yes. That's why it's called the what? First Amendment. It wasn't the 189th Amendment. It wasn't somewhere down there in the Jewish law amendments, 600 and some. It was the First Amendment of the Constitution of the United States of America, that you have rights to practice your religion anywhere, in any way that you want, including a workplace.
So if you're saying it's the first, it was probably the most important?
I think it was the most important one. Want to remind you of that. Go to faithatworkiowa.org. Order your tickets, and we'll see you there Thursday, May 12th. We're coming back. A string of robberies in Des Moines is just really got the police department going crazy, and we're going to try to help the homeless in a very tiny way. Tiny way. Next on The Dot.
Credit cards are like grandkids. They love you, sometimes get out of control, and it's fun to get a new one. Who can stop them from piling on?
Hi, I'm Tom Coates with Consumer Credit of Des Moines. At the end of the day, you can return the grandkids, but you're stuck paying off bad credit card debt. We'll help you put the fun back into using credit cards responsibly. Right, kids?
Yeah! If you need help getting credit cards off your back, call Consumer Credit of Des Moines.
Hi, my name is David Burrier, your Hope Coach. I host a live weekly talk show called I've Been There every Thursday afternoon at 5:30, right here on webcast1live.com, and on my weekly radio program Saturday mornings at 10 on Truth Network 99.3 FM. I interview common everyday people who have survived incredible life challenges and who testify to God's faithfulness in the midst of their storms. So join me as we bring a message of hope and encouragement. Everybody needs hope. I know, because I've been there.
Hey everybody, I brought Northern Lights Pizza! And it's got Graziano sausage!
Rockton Prevention is celebrating 25 years of creating a caring community. We want to say thank you to the tens of thousands of Rock High School mentors that have carried our message of health, love, and encouragement to over 1.5 million children, teachers, and parents. Our mentors teach children methods and skills to prevent bullying and drug use. Thank you to all the school administrators, teachers, and counselors for their opportunity to serve you. Rock on, fair citizens. Rock on. This is Pat McManus for Rockton Prevention, the Richard O. Jacobson Foundation, and this station.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast 1 Live.
21 minutes after 3 o'clock, 3:21 in the afternoon, 7th day of April in the Lord's year 2016. J. Michael McCoy, it's time once again to be together. Just our afternoon tea. Did we figure out if it's tea and crumpets?
Crumpets, yes.
Crumpets, okay. But you missed this yesterday, Frank. The show now is also welcoming people who want tea and crumpets.
Oh, but do you know what today is?
7th of April.
It's 8 days from your birthday.
Yes, it is, but we're not going to. We don't do my birthday on the radio.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So a couple stories I want to get into. One, and we'll talk about here in just a few minutes, is the unbelievable bill, House File 2399, which passed 50-0 yesterday. It's a sweeping bill aimed at better protecting victims of domestic violence. And, of course, we had Tiffany Allison in here not too many weeks ago. She is kind of the face of this bill, talking about how difficult it is to get people who are accused of domestic abuse, people who are found guilty of domestic abuse, how hard it is to get them in prison for longer periods of time. So that's something we're going to talk about later. Also, there's a tiny solution to a big problem, and that's called homelessness in Iowa. Specifically, a tiny problem to a big solution for homelessness in Des Moines. We'll talk about that this hour. Dateline, Des Moines, Iowa, a string of robberies that have targeted get-and-go convenience stores across the metro might be connected. No. 7 gas stations have been robbed in the past 23 days. 3 stores, Northwest 2nd Avenue, Watrous Avenue, and Southwest 9th, have been robbed twice. We believe some of them are connected, said the police department. There's an apparent pattern. Police declined to reveal the details of that pattern, citing it is part of their investigation. But the police have ruled out the March 16th robbery at the Franklin Avenue store because that person's reported race doesn't match the others. Well, shaken clerks give a similar description of the perpetrator, a white male, likely in his 20s, of slender build. His estimated height is around 5'11". Frank, I'm just curious. How tall are you?
6'1".
But if you're slumping over, you wouldn't be.
Oh, maybe.
The robber covers his face for each crime with a different colored cloth or mask, and sometimes is wearing gloves, similar to what people who build Jimmy Johns are wearing. Police aren't ruling out that more than one robber may be involved. The police said, quote, the risk these guys are taking is certainly not worth the reward for the amount of money these guys are taking. That's when you consider motivation. Are they motivated by substance abuse addiction or by some survival need they think they have to meet? The police wouldn't go as far to say that Des Moines has a serial robber at large or why they may be targeting get-and-go stores. So why do you think they're targeting get-and-go stores, Chris? I mean, you got to admit, that is 7 robberies in 23 days and dual robberies at 3 different stores, and they're all get-and-go.
It does seem odd that they're get-and-go establishment. There's a lot of convenience stores in the Des Moines metro area to target the one. I don't know. And are they? I'm trying to think. The only get-and-go that I know well is the one on Merle Hay down here. What is that? Merle Hayden Urbandale.
Yeah.
I think that's the one.
Yeah.
That one I've been into. It's small. Maybe are these smaller? Are they less protected? They're not as nice as like the Come and Goes, the Casey's, the Quick Trip. Are they easier to rob?
All right.
Or am I wrong?
Probably easier. I mean, they're going to pick the target of least resistance.
That would be maybe one thing I can think of.
I just think it's a disgruntled employee of Come and Go.
Ding, 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 ding.
Cha-ching. Good one, Bob. Nice.
First of all, let's admit it. Unless you're stealing $1 million diamonds or $1 million art, you're a dumb thief.
Wait a minute. I just got the best text. Jill King just texted me and she said, it's because it's called a get and go. That's why. Because you get in, you go. It's rob. The name is about robbing. That's funny. Sorry, I won't distract anymore.
Yeah, but
that was funny, Jill. Thank you.
Rob a Quick Trip, and it's a quick trip to prison.
Yeah, but see, that's a negative consequence. Anyway, I'm sorry, Mac. You were making a very profound and deep point.
Actually, Bob made it.
Yes. Disgruntled employee.
If you're not stealing $1 million diamonds and $1 million paintings, you're dumb. Why would you go steal something for... I mean, you have to remember, these convenience stores, McDonald's, all these things, they have what they call cash drops.
Right.
And the cash goes into a safe that can't be opened until the next day.
Right.
It cannot. That clerk cannot open it. So you're only looking at $400-$500,
right,
if that, depending on the time of day. So I think it's a disgruntled employee, like Bob said. They know the system. They also know when the cash drops are. Maybe they sit outside and they know what it looks like when the person bends over or goes down to put the cash in the cash drop. So they know then they've got 1 hour. So they hang around, or 2 hours or 3 hours, whatever it is. They can beat the system. And they'd rather have $400 or $500 than their freedom. I think it's a disgruntled employee who is back to get and go, and they're really mad because they're willing to risk their life and their freedom, etc.
Well, the only other thing that you could consider, I thought the police officer that was quoted in this Des Moines Register article that you were reading just a few moments ago said something that's worth considering. The motivation could be substance abuse addiction or some, quote, survival need that they think they need to have. I mean, it's small, robbing a lot like that. That's lack of a better word, necessity style robbing. They're not trying to make a big buck. They're just trying to get by. And so they're just surviving is why they're robbing.
Following on Mac's logic, maybe it's a relative of a family member who works at Get and Go. And Get and Go employee is giving them personal information.
That could be it also.
Well, just a point of clarification. Is this particular series of robberies, are they getting away with more than what a normal convenience store robbery gets away with?
Have you ever noticed that you will never, ever, 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 ever hear how much somebody gets in a robbery? Never. You'll never hear it. Unless it is a distinctive high amount. $1 million were stolen from a jewelry store. The reason they don't is because it's so much less than people would think it is. You think you walk into a Get and Go 9, 10 o'clock at night, you think, Chris Roloff thinks, they've got all the day's money in there. They don't make the bank deposit till the next morning. Or it's midnight. When in fact, it's several $100s and that's it. Because they're doing cash drops.
Right, but that would discourage people. If they're like, man, that guy risked everything for a couple $100, wouldn't it discourage people from, maybe criminals don't read the paper.
Criminals don't think logically. Now, remember, I'm sitting in this room with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 men, and we've all been criminals at one time or another.
Sure.
We are all, it's like sinners. We've all broken the law. We've committed a crime that makes you a criminal. Now, Jill King is sitting there going, I don't commit a crime. I've never committed a crime in my... Have you ever had a parking ticket? Have you ever had a speeding ticket? Have you ever had any... Did your dog run away? And he didn't have the right shots, tags, bark?
But if you think bad thoughts, you've committed a crime. If you have lust in your heart, you have committed a crime.
My point is, and I mean, I desperately feel sorry for people who have to rob other places. It's very, very dangerous for what you get back. But they're in, they're out, and they're done. And that's it. They can run, they can get away. It's an easy mark. And somebody knows something about Get and Go that we don't know. And that's why they're going to Get and Go. And that's why I think both Frank and Bob are right. It's somebody who knows the inside.
And if they're not robbing a bank for a big score, it's pretty good chance it's drug related. They're robbing for their drug fix.
Right, that's what the police officer said in the article earlier. So I don't know. It's odd. What's the span of time? You said it's less than
7 stores in 23 days, with 4 stores being robbed twice. So 2, 4, 6, 8.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, I would not want to be a Get and Go employee right now.
No, not at all.
Man. Are these armed robberies?
You know, it doesn't say. I thought that same thing, Frank. I went through over and over and over. Here's what one of the police officers said. What they want is a bit of cash quickly, and often it's the reason they prefer robbery to burglary, said the policeman. It doesn't take a lot of planning. If you've got a gun, you stick it in somebody's face, and if it goes well, you've got enough money to buy the next dose of drugs if that's what you're looking for. Gas station robbers are typically impulsive, opportunistic, and don't plan it out very carefully. That's from the police. They're the experts here. If you know who this person is, you have a moral obligation to turn them in. Now, if you don't want to turn them in, you call me and tell me, and I'll turn them in. Or if you think this person has a problem, it is a drug abuse problem, an alcohol abuse problem, call me and I'll sit down and talk to them. I'll do it anonymously. I promise I will not call the police.
Do they still have that Crime Stoppers hotline?
Yes, there's a Crime Stoppers hotline in this market. They do not trace it. You can also give money to the Crime Stoppers hotline, and with that money, they put a reward out there. And let's face it, somebody knows this person's doing this. Maybe it's their drug dealer. But everybody has a conscience at some point. It took me 53 years to have one, but we do get one sooner or later. This person who's doing this, let me explain to you the way the police are thinking about this, or what I think the police are thinking about this. This person, there are 7 stores that have been robbed in 23 days. If this person is using a gun, they are going to assume this person is armed and dangerous. They will not think twice about shooting to kill. I don't know if you've noticed, but police don't maim. They don't get an opportunity to maim.
They're not taught to.
Yeah. It's their life or the robber's life. You always say, well, why didn't he just shoot him in the leg or something? Because if you shoot him in the leg, the guy can still turn around and shoot you back.
That's what Black Lives Matter does not understand. They're not taught to shoot to maim.
Yeah, that's true.
When the police stops you.
Well, when you've got a weapon and the police feel that you're going to engage them with that weapon, they have one responsibility, and that's for their own life and their family's life.
And it doesn't have to be a gun; it could be a knife. If they're flashing a knife, if they're flashing anything in a intimidating manner, they're going to get taken down.
515-244-0077. That's the line you can reach into the radio station, and it's your voice we want to hear. And if you'd like to simply text us, you can text us at the Service Legends Truth text line at 515-809-0993.
What about that other important number?
Do you mean Seth Walker?
Yes, that one too. But what about that one that Chris always gives out to the radio station?
Oh, if you have an actual complaint about the content of this show and you'd like to inform the station management, that's me.
Why do you say that when you're on my show? Do you come on anybody else's show? What, you think people complain about? Do people call and complain about my show and you don't tell me?
Well, they're anonymous and they would like to remain that way. If you'd like to make an anonymous complaint to the station management, you can call us. No, I'm kidding. It's 515-251-2663.
That's right.
Who gets more complaints, me or Steve Dace?
We'll be right back.
When we come back, a tiny solution to a big problem is coming to Des Moines. And I think you're going to love it. We're coming back live here on The Truth, 99.3. You know, I can call in and complain about it.
Northern Lights Pizza's amazing garlic butter makes amazing breadsticks. Now available in 12-ounce bottles at Northern Lights, Hy-Vee, and Graziano's.
Northern Lights Pizza.
I'm Brian Leach, owner of Service Legends, and my position is Chief Talent Officer.
I'm Nicholas Wonderscheid.
I am Bernie Hobbs.
And I'm the Service Manager.
Marketing Director and Client Relations Manager.
Everything that we do is about ensuring that we exceed your expectations.
Our clients are important to us. 100% satisfaction.
We're not just focused on heating and cooling. That's the easiest part of our job, actually, is fixing furnaces and air conditioners.
Everyone that we come in touch with, we want to improve lives.
Bottom line is, we've got our installation guarantees, 25% energy savings guarantee, comfort guarantee, temperature selection guarantee, property protection guarantee.
100% satisfaction guaranteed, fixed rate or it's free.
All of those guarantees are backed up with a 100% money back guarantee to hold ourselves accountable to making sure that you get what you're after.
Just fixing the problem today. If they have another problem 5 days down the road, it's still fixed rate or it's free.
We use what's called straightforward pricing. Our technicians are going to give you an exact to-the-penny price on what it's going to take before they move forward with any repair. That way you know what to expect.
It's the same price every day.
No surprises.
If you get off work at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, you come home, you realize that, oh, my furnace is broken. Now you need to call somebody out that night. You shouldn't have to pay more for that.
We're guaranteeing service 24/7.
We run afternoons, evenings, nights, weekends. We're staffed to work that.
Phone rings at 3 in the morning. You'll get one of our representatives answering the phone every time.
We're not sending you out to Timbuktu in some call center. It's our Service Legend team members, our mission control team.
I'll take a call anytime.
And then they answer the phones the same way during the day as they do at night.
It's a great day at your service company. How can we make you smile?
That's the only way to provide true 24-hour service.
When you're able to let somebody actually live in their home safely when they weren't able to do that before, where they don't have to stay up at night and worry about, is the heat going to come back on? Are we going to freeze the pipes? Is the baby in the room next door going to be sick because they got too cold? When you're able to help somebody overcome challenges like that, that's impacting a life. That makes a difference. I get goosebumps thinking about it.
I love the team. I love the people that I work with.
We have fun, but we work hard.
I call them my ambassadors of legendary service. If you could just envision what that is, that's who we're sending to your home.
They literally will call in, pick up the phone and call and say, hey, I want to talk to your manager. And I get on the phone, they're like, that technician that was at my house was the greatest technician ever. That's cool to me.
We want to brighten people's days.
Every person that we have going into the house has gone through an extensive background check.
Drug testing, we have a very thorough interview process that 1 out of 140 people make it through.
If we promise you something, that's what you're going to get, no matter what.
We're here when you need us to protect the safety and comfort of your family.
If you're not happy, we're going to make it right.
If we're willing to put 100% money back guarantee on what we do, what type of work do you think we do?
Give us a call. We're there for you 24/7, 365 days a year.
Enough said.
Yes. 3:38, 22 minutes before the top of the hour. Salem Radio Network News. At the top of the hour, domestic abuse. Are we finally getting to a point that we might be able to end it, or at least get it so low that it's not an issue? It has been a real problem, and the problem is the sentencing. You know, earlier this week we talked about how there are some people, and by the way, one of the guy on the governor's committee for prisons is going to be on Friday at 3 o'clock. And because there's this thought out there, where's out there in your head, that even though the population of Iowa is 3.4% of African American, black, 35% of the people in prison are black. And so there's this range of thought. One range clear over here on one side is, well, it's the white folks picking on the black people and them cops putting more black people in prison. The other side of the thinking that's way over here is that the mandatory sentencing is not correct. That it's too high and there are too many people for second-degree burglary or robbery that are going to prison for 10 years. The answer is somewhere in the middle. So I thought I'd have Tom Walton with the Nymaster Good Law Firm, who works with the governor on the prison board come in and talk about that. So that's going to be the first hour. I believe it's Friday.
So do we need affirmative action for prisons? So we got to put a certain number of whites in or not let a certain amount of blacks in? Here's the main thing that I want people to realize. Whether you have mandatory minimums or not, they're committing the crimes. Maybe the sentencing guidelines are unfair, but they're still committing the crimes.
One thing that I'd like to add that was pointed out by a listener when we talked about this show a couple of broadcasts ago was that we also have to take into account that there are economic issues here, too. When someone is sentenced and they go to court, the quality of the lawyer that you can afford does make a difference. Think O.J. Simpson and the like.
Are you talking about my favorite new caller, Anita?
Yes.
Anita, you're live in Max World. How you doing today?
Hello, men of God. I've got something on my mind.
All right.
About this robbery business. Now, I've been in an armed robbery in a local bank.
Ouch.
Where the guy came in.
Were you the guy robbing him, or were you just there?
No, I was a teller at the bank.
Ooh, ouch. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so he comes in. He wants me to fill up the silver gun. I could still see the barrel in my face and says, fill up the bag, which I did promptly. But here's my concern. We're talking today about these guys that are doing it and who they are and so on and so forth. But I suffered a huge trauma when that happened to me.
Yeah.
I ended up having to quit the job. The bank owner the bank president came from downtown to my little branch and patted me on the head and said, good job. And, we appreciate your service and everything. But I lost my job. Not they fired me, no. I quit because I just was scared everybody that came in and reached into their back pocket had a gun on them. Now, these banks have millions of dollars. Everything that is stolen from them is insured, but the poor little clerk or teller gets nothing for risking their life. So I want to know if anybody's got any opinions on that. I certainly have mine.
What do you think the teller or clerk should get, Anita?
Well, I think that should be determined by the bank.
All right, that's fair.
And it probably should be the same for everybody. And it probably should be even higher if you're injured by a bullet from this person coming in there and robbing the bank. Well, I wasn't shot, I wasn't hurt, but mentally it played a big part in my life at that time.
Yeah, and I'm not a big fan of wussies. But I'm going to tell you, when you are when you're traumatized in something like that, when you just said, I remember the silver barrel of the gun, I pictured that in my head. I pictured this gun, 18 inches from my head, and I see the silver. And I'm freaking out right now, and I'm a pretty strong dude.
Yeah.
So I understand that trauma issue. Absolutely.
So, are you kind of advocating for almost like a hazard pay because of the high risk of the industry?
Well, yeah, I think they should just have a set figure that if you quit the job, then now you got double jeopardy because you've been scared out of your wits, and now you don't have a job. You got to start looking for a job again. So, I don't know. Maybe nobody felt that way, but I did. I had 3 children at home. I am a single parent. They're all grown now, thank God for that. But, I thought the man might come after me. I've seen him. He's seen me. Neither one of us had a mask on. So I don't know. I just want opinions if anybody has any out there.
All right.
Did they ever catch the guy?
Never.
Ooh. I'm sorry, Anita.
Anita, I did you know that I was talking about you on the radio yesterday or 2 days ago?
Yes, I did. I was shocked. I was in the other rest. That's my name. and that's Matt talking, so I'm going to have to go in here and see if it's going to be good or not so good, but it was good.
Well,
I appreciate it.
Here's what I want. I want to meet you someday, and I want you to come into the studio and be on the radio with us, and you can pick the topic. You pick a topic that you're passionate about. See, because if I tell you what we're going to talk about, you may not know anything about it. But if you say, Mac, I'm passionate about blank, then it'll be right on the top of your heart, right on the top of your head. And I want you to come in and be a guest because I think I love you. I just think you are neater than heck. So,
well,
In a minute.
Well, don't give me any credit. It's all about Jesus.
I know it is, but there's something. So don't hang up. Jeb is going to pick up your line, and if you'll give Jeb your phone number, or if you want, I'll give you my phone number, and you can call me. I'm not trying to get into your private stuff here, but I just want to talk to you on the phone to see if you'd like to do this, because I think you're a star, and I mean that. And you know I can pick stars. I picked Frank.
Yes, you got a star on your hands there, all right.
Yeah, it may be a falling star, but it's a star.
Rising star.
Rising.
Yes.
All right, Anita, I love you. Thank you very much for calling, and you just hang on.
Welcome.
And
God
Jeb's
bless all of you.
Yeah, Jeb's going to get your number, all right?
Okay.
See, that's what do you call Providence? No.
Yeah, that was great, because I was referencing her call too. She made a great impact, and she made another fantastic point again today. And I think that's something that, especially, we have a unique opportunity having listeners like Anita, having so many Christian listeners, people who believe in the power of prayer and know that they can talk to God and intercede on people's behalf. And the reason why I bring that up is, we hear this news story, everybody else is covering it, but here's a good opportunity for all of us to be reminded that we should be praying for all those Get and Go employees that are right now ones affected by it directly, and then just anybody at this point that works for Get and Go has got to be a little bit scared.
Well, when I was a young lad in the 70s, there was quite a few...
1870?
1970s. There was a lot of gas station robberies. Of course, Quick Trips and Casey's and all those things didn't exist at the time, but there was quite a few shootings, and the common thing was for employees to be laid face down in bathrooms, and many of them were shot in the city of Des Moines. And once upon a time in the 80s, I worked at a gas station past midnight, and the guy told me, he says, anybody comes in here and wants the money, give them the money.
Right.
The money is, your life is more valuable than the money you're going to give away, so don't be a hero.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But, it's still scary. That's still scary. And you're a guy. I know I've been in convenience stores, especially convenience stores like Get and Go, where there's one person working.
Yeah.
In that Get and Go. And that's a frightening.
And at the
situation.
time this was going on, I was married, and my daughter Jessica was about 2, 3, 4 years old at the time, and I'm working overnight at this Amico station. And it's a thought that goes through your mind that are you going to go home and see your daughter in the morning?
Working at a that's just unreal that you'd have to be under that kind of pressure. Think about what a cop feels when he walks out.
Right. That's a good point, Mac. You're absolutely right.
Well, a cop walks out to go to his shift, and it could be the last time he ever goes back home. Just silly. All right, we're taking a break. Going back to a tiny problem for a big solution here in Des Moines. Do you know what it is? You know what it is, Chris? You know what it is, Frank?
No.
Bob, you know what it is?
No.
Okay, it's coming up next. You and I are going to know it for sure, live here on The Truth.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast 1 Live.
Credit cards are like grandkids. They love you, sometimes get out of control, and it's fun to get a new one. Who can stop them from piling on?
Hi, I'm Tom Coates with Consumer Credit of Des Moines. At the end of the day, you can return the grandkids, but you're stuck paying off bad credit card debt. We'll help you put the fun back into using credit cards responsibly. Right, kids?
Yeah! If you need help getting credit cards off your back, call Consumer Credit of Des Moines.
Rockton Prevention is celebrating 25 years of creating a caring community. We want to say thank you to the tens of thousands of Rock High School mentors that have carried our message of health, love, and encouragement to over 1.5 million children, teachers, and parents. Our mentors teach children methods and skills to prevent bullying and drug use. Thank you to all the school administrators, teachers, and counselors for their opportunity to serve you. Rock on, fair citizens. Rock on. This is Pat McManus for Rockton Prevention, the Richard O. Jacobson Foundation, and this station.
Northern Lights Pizza, your home of the tasty crust. Our garlic butter sauce now available in 12-ounce bottles at Northern Lights, Hy-Vee, and Graziano's.
Northern Lights Pizza. Hi, my name is David Burrier, your Hope Coach. I host a live weekly talk show called I've Been There every Thursday afternoon at 5:30, right here on webcast1live.com, and on my weekly radio program Saturday mornings at 10 on Truth Network 99.3 FM. I interview common everyday people who have survived incredible life challenges and who testify to God's faithfulness in the midst of their storms. So join me as we bring a message of hope and encouragement. Everybody needs hope. I know, because I've been there.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
Ten minutes before the top of the hour. That makes it 3:50 Central Standard Time. If you're my mom and dad listening, it's 1:50 in California. Hi, Mom and Dad. Raining and cold here. What happened? Sunday, we were at 83 degrees.
No joke. I thought we had skipped spring altogether, and then it was just going to be summer. Bada boom, bada bing, and then now it's cold again.
What time is it in Alaska?
It's 1 hour earlier.
Okay.
Hey,
it's noon.
You know who's the fault for this bad weather? I mean, I'm convinced. Who do you blame for bad weather?
Me.
Frank.
Curtis Gertz.
Oh.
Curtis.
You blame the weather guy.
Uh-oh. Do you want to get ripped by Tana Gertz?
Oh, Tana and I are fine. Tana and I talked at church.
Call
She's
up
fine.
Tana.
Now you and Tana, that's another story.
Tana,
I don't know who you're talking
these
about.
These guys are
no
giving the smack to Trump. Call up and rip them.
We're not allowed to talk about that anymore.
We don't talk about politics that much anymore. We're trying to change that.
No, off mic, they're just tearing Trump up. Call in Tana and rip him.
No, we're not.
By the way, I got a funny thing. So I said that everybody earlier is a criminal because we've committed a crime.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
What?
Nothing.
So I said everybody, and I said
have no
even
part in
Jill
this.
King.
I have no part.
Even Jill King, sweet, innocent Jill King, has committed a crime. So here's what she sent me back. This is why I love this woman. This woman has the greatest sense of humor. I got a ticket for not having my license with me. Okay, you're supposed to have your...
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah. What happened that she needed to have her license? She hit a sheriff's vehicle in Marshall County.
Oopsies.
Yeah, I resemble that remark. She hit a sheriff's vehicle. All right, now, next hour, I've got a young lady who I've introduced you to before, Shayla Walters, and she's going to come in, and she's just going to join us. She's going to join us, and we're going to talk about all different kinds of stuff, because Shayla, kind of like Anita, Shayla is a very intelligent, entertaining person. And do you remember how I met Shayla?
I don't. Uh-oh, we got a mic coming on.
Hey, Mac, it's Kayla.
Kayla?
Kayla, not Shayla.
Oh, is she here?
Yes, she is.
Oh, hi, Kayla.
Hello, Mac.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited.
All right, she's coming on next. What were you going to say, Frankfurt?
Well, I remember for a young lady,
Wiener dog.
For a young lady, she was a connoisseur of fine Pink Floyd music.
Fine Pink Floyd music. That's right, and that's one of the things we're going to talk about.
We're going to talk about Pink Floyd. I have some Pink Floyd stories.
All right, so in a familiar routine in Des Moines, and we're going to talk about this going into the 4 o'clock hour, because I think this is a conversation. And here's the question I want you to call and answer. Yes or no? Joppa, Joppa, is a Christian ministry here in town. Very, very effective. Been around 20 years maybe. Maybe not quite that long. They are proposing that we actually the city of Des Moines build a village for homeless people out of tiny houses.
It takes a village.
Now, does everybody know what a tiny house is?
Well, 10 by 10 by 10?
That's like a single room, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that what a tiny house is?
Yeah, tiny houses are usually somewhere between 160 and 400 square feet. So that's 4 by 10. Okay, maybe a little bigger than that. They can go up to like 600 square feet. And they build them so you've got a bathroom, a shower, a kitchen, at least one bedroom, a dining area, a play. I mean, they build these things kind of like with an erector set.
Yeah, it makes me think of something IKEA would make.
Yes. Okay. Well, and I know you don't watch a lot of TV.
Nope.
But since my wife has had her foot surgery, she obviously has a lot of downtime. And she basically works and sleeps, and somewhere in the middle, she loves HGTV. Home and Garden Television. Is that what that stands for, I think? And there's this new thing about tiny houses.
Yeah.
And you can buy a tiny house for somewhere around $20,000. And you can hook it up to sewage, you can hook it up to water, you can do all that kind of stuff. It's usually for one, maybe two people, no babies, no kids, just not enough room. So Joppa is thinking about, and if you go to, well, where did I get this? I think I got this from Channel 13's website. They actually have a drawing of this little village. So you'd have a general restroom area, so like a public restroom area. You'd also have a meeting room, a camp meeting room where you could go in and watch TV, or you could meet with people. They'd probably have a kitchen in there if you needed to cook for food for everybody. But there would be like 30 little tiny houses. And the homeless people could come in and live there for short periods of time, meaning like up to 16 months, until the city, the homeless shelters, Hope Ministries, all of that, could find a new place for them to live permanently. So rather than living in shanties, lean-tos, log barricade,
cardboard houses.
Yeah, they could come and live here. So here's what Joppa says. In a familiar routine in Des Moines, the city's homeless find shelter along the Raccoon River. Complaints filter in. City workers evict the homeless from the camps and clean up the mess left behind. All of this is done only to be repeated a week or a month later when another homeless camp is formed. But one organization has proposed a plan never before seen in Iowa. Camps like this are constantly on the move, totally because of homeless evictions, said Joe Stevens, co-founder of Joppa Outreach, the local organization helping to fight homelessness. The city has come along and has evicted pretty much every area near homeless services near downtown Des Moines, so homeless folks have no place to go. Stevens and his colleagues at Joppa are proposing a solution they claim would break the cycle on homelessness in Des Moines, and it involves tiny houses you see popping up all over the country. In a three-pronged plan involving tiny homes in supportive villages, and the part of the plan that we're focused on right now is actually the middle part, which is a transitional village, 6 to 24 months. So when we come back after the top of the hour, I want to come back and find out whether you like this idea or not. Whether you like the idea of tax money, tax abatement, so that's two kinds. Not only do they give money what you've paid, but they don't have money coming in. And obviously private donations. Would you like to see something like this built in our city?
It depends what the homeless advocates want to do with it, because when Prairie Meadows was about to go under because of the horse racing, before they let the slots in, they offered up the horse barns as potential area to house the homeless, and it was soundly rejected as some slam against the homeless to live in a horse barn.
All right, so when we come back, we're going to talk about that. I'm going to introduce you to Kayla. And we're just going to have a real good time next hour talking about what you're really willing to do. I don't want to do a fundraiser on the air. I'm not going to do that, at least today. But I want to know whether you'd contribute money to build this homeless camp. Would you contribute your time to build this homeless camp? Or are you going to be one of those people, well, as long as it's not in my neighborhood? Let's talk about it. We're going to do that today. By the way, I work with Joppa. I have a little ministry of my own. It's called Jeans for Joppa. I collect jeans from some of the men and women at Lutheran Church of Hope, and then the gals get together and sew them into blankets. So we hand out hundreds of blankets. All right, we're coming back next hour, live here on The Truth.